Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today, we're going to be venturing down into a financial rabbit hole, which is the top 200 players in the game. How much do they spend? What's their monthly upkeep for spending on their accounts? And as we kind of pull back this curtain and look on the other side, giving you some transparency. And I don't know if a video like this has really ever been done, but this has been something that has always been on my mind for a while. And it's not really in the idea of, oh, let me find out all their financial details, but it's always interested me to see, well, how much are people spending based on things like their power size? What are they spending? Are there different tiers of upkeep prices? And then what does that include? Now, we're going to just be scratching the surface today, but I hope you'll at least enjoy. And as always, if you do, make sure you throw us up because I've said a lot. Thanks. Do it or I'll find you. So I asked, just to give you some context, I asked the top 200 players based on historical power, not current, because the way I viewed it is that historical was kind of up to the peak amount that they probably have spent. And current is probably more indicative of upkeep, going down and up, etc. And so from that, and again, that obviously adds on to total as well. It's not to say that that's the only thing. But I essentially went through each of them. This was based on the February 24th data, so from the last pool that I got from Fuzzy. And I basically went through each person and went in, copied an ID or a name, messaged them on my main account, and also added them as a friend. That was important because I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to go through this and reach out to the top 200 players at the time, I need to also add them so that way it makes it easier for me to message in the future. From that, what I can tell you is the baseline for the top 200 players was around 197 million power. So anyone that was at that, maybe a tiny bit over that and above, got a message, right? Just so you understand the minimum power. And then obviously the high end would be people like Satoru's account, right, slash Nephisto, and then YY's account, right, kind of up there as the top two, right, kind of around that bill 800 threshold range. Okay, let's go ahead and get over to the deets. There's a couple things I'm going to show you here, right? So we're going to start with upkeep. So upkeep is determined based on their monthly spend. So if people told me, and I'll even show you, I wonder if I can real quick. Let me see if I can show you the message too. Let me move this over here just so I can pull it up. Okay, yeah. So this was the message that I sent. And it just says, hey, this is BN COD content creator. I'm doing a video on the top player spending. It will be anonymous. How to make sure I capitalize that. 2 questions. 1, how much have you spent total on your account? And then 2, what is your average spending per month? Now, initially, this was average spending per day, week, and month. And then I transitioned it kind of in the later half. And I realized I probably just should have had it monthly. So that way it didn't appear like I'm asking, a bunch of questions or kind of sub questions for the second one. And then I mentioned it's completely optional. And thank you for your time. Now, before I show you any numbers, I do have to give a huge shout out to everyone that, 1, responded, and then 2, for everyone that responded with their numbers. I was somewhat shocked because it was around kind of 40 plus or minus for each, and we'll get into those numbers as well. So about 20% of people replied from each. And I also made sure I waited 24 hours after I finished doing the last batch of messages, which I think was about 2 days ago. So I just want to say thank you so much. I do know that some people were okay with being public, but just for the sake and the integrity of doing it the first time and for consistency, everyone is just anonymous this go around. But again, hopefully for those that are watching this that either did not see the message, maybe just didn't have time to reply, and maybe you were just unsure, right, about sharing those details. Hopefully you know that anything like that that's shared with me, if I tell you I'm doing it this way, right, that's how I'm going to do it. And again, maybe next time we'll do something different if so, but I'm okay with doing it this way. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to feel comfortable and confident enough to share that information with me. It does mean a lot. Okay, so let's get into the upkeep. So we're going to start off on the low end. Now, there was 38 people out of 200 that provided upkeep cost. And again, maybe we'll do a video later on where we break down like the different tiers of what the upkeep cost range is, because I think that could be a cool follow-up where we say, okay, well, if you're spending between 200 and $1,000, right? What are you spending on? If you're spending between $1,000 and $2,000, what's that? $2,000 and $3,000, $3,000 and $5,000. You know what I mean? So something like that would be nice. Then maybe we went into detail about like, oh, are you maxing this bundle? Oh, you're buying 3 levels of this bundle. Oh, these 5 bundles I'm maxing. Dailies plus monthlies, etc. Right? Maybe I'm buying out the shop, whatever it is. So that's something that could be a follow-up. So you see here, right, we got 30 players spending at least $1,000 or more on the game. We have 25 players spending $2,000 or more a month. Then it kind of goes a decent amount. And then we get 12 players that are spending $3,000. These are current numbers, right? This is as of 2-3 days ago. So we have 12 players that are spending $3,000 or more a month on the game. We have 9 people spending $4,000 or more on the game. We have 7 people spending $5,000 or more on the game a month. 3 people spending $7,500 or more. And then we got 2 people that have been spending $10,000 a month on the game for the past however many number of months. Just absolutely wild stuff. Okay. So now I have to make sure I go down to almost 200 just because I got to make sure I get almost everyone here. So we'll go about here. I think that's fine. And then we're going to sort this based on column B. And then we're going to do an unveil. Okay, all right, let's work our way up here. So I think it's low 40s is where we're at. Okay. So this is total. Now, total is total money spent up until this point. And keep in mind, these are estimated numbers, right? This isn't going to necessarily be exact. This is what the people think that they have spent at total. Now, this could be a low number. It could maybe be a high number. Some people gave me ranges. So in most cases, I try to kind of go about a median average, give or take. So, and that's if they gave me a range. And so this is where we're at. So bare minimum is 28K. 28,000 is what they've spent so far, right? And again, it's 43 people, so by 21% or so of people that replied out of the 200. Then we get, 40 people, 50K or more have spent. You can see 33 people have spent $70,000 or more dollars. We have 30 people that have spent $80,000 or more dollars on their account. 24 people have spent $90,000 or more on their account. 21 people have spent $100,000 or more. We have 10 people that have spent $120,000 or more. I mean, now we're kind of getting into like small house territory, I feel. You got 9 people, $130,000 or more. 8 people, $140,000 or more. We got 6 people that have spent over $150,000 or more dollars. I mean, it's quite a bit. We got 4 people that have spent over $200,000. And then on the top end, we got 2 people over $225,000 and 1 person that has spent about $300,000. Now, again, this is not including Mephisto, which we know has spent more than that. Because I already interviewed him before, and he told me the numbers that he had spent total, and I think it was something like around $1 million. But yeah, these are the numbers. Now, let me go down and show you some ranges. And I don't think this video is going to be too long, right, for that. But let me show you some ranges now. And this is the good stuff here at the bottom. So I added up the total, right, that these about 20% of people have spent. And it comes out to about $4.35 million. If we were to multiply that, let's say by 5, right, because this is about 20%, we're probably at around 20 mil, right, 21 mil. And that's total, right? That's just for the top 200 players, right? And again, that's an average estimate. Upkeep, I'd have to multiply that by, I guess 5 as well for the month, right? So and then if we look at the year, so that would be what, 512,000, and then you're multiplying that by 12, so you're looking what, 10.5, about what, 6.2 million. And again, that's yearly, right? Just from the top 200 players. Again, average estimate. The range, like I said, is 28K to 300K, and then we have $200 up to 10K. 43 people replied from the totals. And out of those 43 people that replied, right, 38 of them also provided a monthly. Some people just provided a total, right? Some didn't provide a monthly. But yeah, there you go. I mean, listen, these are transparent numbers. This is quotes directly from the people that provided me the stats. And as I said before, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate those willing to share, feeling comfortable and confident to share, right? Believing that I'm going to keep your anonymity, despite, again, some people being like, hey, man, I don't care. You can share my name. As I said, just for consistency this time around, I wanted to at least uphold the integrity, right, for the majority. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Now, like I said, I think there's some ideas that we can add on and peel off from here. And I can only imagine if we ended up getting, more people that had replied to as well, would that have kind of skewed things, or would that have moved the needle kind of one way or the other? Would it have just kind of added to the median average in the middle? Well, we'll see. However, I'll pass it off to you now. What do you think about this? Are these numbers surprising? Are they not surprising? Are you shocked on the total amount spent for some people, on the monthly upkeep, on the amount of people that replied? I mean, the one thing I will say is, out of everyone I reached out to, actually, the majority of these people I have added now, thankfully, on my main account as friends, which is great because it just makes it easier if I ever want to follow up and message again, even if it's about other things, which I'd like to do. But there was one person who did reply, and it wasn't like bad, but it was just, hey, I don't think this is going to be a good idea. I just don't want to share. But everyone else was like really, and there was even a number of people that replied that said, hey, thank you so much for doing this video. I think it's going to be cool. I enjoy the content, etc. Happy to share. And, like, thank you for asking. Thank you for keeping, me anonymous. And I guess for me, I just think about the fact that 43 people out of 200 were okay with sharing their finances and how much they've spent. Right. And it just, because I didn't know what to expect, right? I didn't know how many people I was going to get replies from. So the fact that I got a decent amount, I feel, is awesome to be able to cover something like this, even though it is a small pool. However, with all that being said, happy to do this, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, we'll catch you later.